Dharmas without beginning. 4. Why are dharmas with beginning not expressly refuted? Question. Dharmas with beginning also a wrong view and should be refuted. Why does the Prajnaparamita Sutra refute only dharmas without beginning here? Answer. Because dharmas with beginning are obvious errors. Why is that? If samsara had a beginning, from the very first existence one would be born in good places or in bad places in the absence of any demeritorious or meritorious causes or conditions. If the birth depended on demeritorious or meritorious cause and conditions, this birth could not be considered as an initial birth. Why? Because it is necessary to commit wrongdoings or gain merits in order to go from an earlier existence to a later existence. But as samsara has no beginning, these faults are avoided. This is why the bodhisattva, removing at the start a view as coarse and as false as that of samsara with beginning, often cultivates that of samsara without beginning and, in view of beings, declares samsara without beginning. Meditating constantly on causes and conditions, he proclaims the non-beginning of these dharmas, but, not having yet attained omniscience, it sometimes happens that he erroneously hypostatizes this absence of beginning. It is in order to combat this error that the Prajnaparamita Sutra speaks here of the emptiness of dharmas without beginning. Moreover, when the theory of dharma with beginning has been refuted by means of that of dharma without beginning, there is no longer any need for an emptiness to destroy the dharmas with beginning. And so, the Prajnaparamita, now wanting to destroy the theory of dharma without beginning, speaks here only of an emptiness of dharmas without beginning. Question. But if dharmas without beginning destroy the dharmas with beginning, the dharmas with beginning themselves destroy the dharmas without beginning. Then why do you resort here only to emptiness to destroy dharmas without beginning? Answer. Although the two theories affirming the beginning and the non-beginning of things respectively are both wrong views, there are differences between them. Dharmas with beginning are causes and conditions giving rise to passions and wrong views, whereas dharmas without beginning are causes and conditions giving rise to loving kindness, compassion and right views. Why is that? In thinking that beings undergo the torments of suffering throughout a beginningless samsara, one experiences a mind of compassion. In knowing that a future lifetime will follow the present lifetime and that the series of lifetimes will not be interrupted. By knowing that these lifetimes are the fruits of retribution of wrongdoings and merits, one produces a right view. If a person does not hypostatize this absence of beginning, it is a good dharma auxiliary to enlightenment for him. But if he grasps the characteristic sign and becomes attached to it, it becomes a wrong view. It is like the view of eternity and the view of non-eternity. Although the view of dharma with beginning destroys the view of dharma without beginning, it does not destroy absolutely the dharmas without beginning, whereas the dharmas without beginning destroy absolutely the dharmas with beginning. That is why these dharmas without beginning are superior. Similarly, the good destroys the bad, and the bad destroys the good, but although they destroy one another mutually, the good alone destroys the bad absolutely. Thus, the person who has attained the state of Arya is no longer subject to bad destinies. It is not the case for the bad dharmas, i.e., they do not destroy the good absolutely, for their power is slight. Thus the man who has committed the 5 sins of immediate retribution and who has broken the roots of good falls into hell, but does not stay there longer than 1 kalpa, after which he escapes from hell and finally realizes the fruits of the path. Dharmas without beginning and dharmas with beginning do not have the same strength. The strength of dharmas without beginning is so great that it is able to destroy the dharmas with beginning. That is why the Prajnaparamita Sutra does not speak of an emptiness of dharmas with beginning, for, in order to destroy them, it is not necessary to have recourse to any emptiness whatsoever. Avakara Sunyata. Ninth section. Emptiness 11. Emptiness of dispersed dharmas. Emptiness of dispersion. Dispersion means division. Emptiness of assembled dharmas. Some dharmas exist by virtue of an assemblage, such as the chariot. When the spokes, wheels, shaft, axles are assembled, there is a chariot. But if they are scattered each in a different place, it loses its name of chariot. When the 5 aggregates are brought together, we speak of a man, but if the 5 aggregates are dispersed, the man no longer exists. 2. Emptiness of dispersed dharmas. Question. By speaking in this way, you are destroying only the name of man, but you are not destroying the form. By scattering the spokes and wheels, you are destroying the name of chariot, but you are not destroying the spokes and wheels. It is the same with your emptiness of the dispersed. By dispersing the 5 aggregates, you are destroying only the man, but you are not destroying the 5 aggregates to form etc. Answer. The aggregates to form etc. They too are pure denominations and destroyed. Why? Because these are subtle agglomerated atoms that are named form. Question. As for myself, I do not accept these subtle atoms. I consider what is visible to be matter. This matter is true and really exists. Why would it be dispersed and empty? Answer. Even forgetting about subtle atoms, visible form, coming from the assembling of the 4 great elements, is itself but a simple name. Just as when the winds of the 4 directions, having come together, fan the water and produce balls of foam, so the 4 great elements, once they have come together, produce matter. But if these 4 great elements are dispersed, there is no matter. Moreover, this matter must be joined with smell, taste, touchable and the 4 great elements for there to be visible form. Outside of this smell, taste, touchable, etc., there is no isolated matter. By means of cognition, we distinguish these different constituents, but separately, in isolation, matter does not exist. If matter really existed, there would be, separate from these constitutive dharmas, a matter that existed separately. But there is no separate matter. Panamasutta. This is why a sutra says, all form exists by the union of the 4 great elements. As it exists by virtue of a union, it is pure denomination. Being only denomination, it is dispersible. Question. Form, as denomination, is dispersible, but how would the other 4 aggregates, feeling, concept, volition and consciousness, which are non-material, be dispersible? Answer. These 4 aggregates are pure denomination as well. In regard to their birth, their aging, their duration and their impermanence, they are dispersed and empty. Why? Because the moment of birth is one, the moment of old age is different, the moment of duration is different and the moment of impermanence is different. Moreover, in the course of the 3 times, we notice that these 4 aggregates are dispersed and perish as well. Moreover, the mind follows its object. When the object perishes, it perishes. When the object is destroyed, it is destroyed. Moreover, these 4 aggregates are indeterminate because they arise as a result of conditions. Just as fire comes into question where there is fuel but does not appear where there is no fuel, so it is because of the iron color that visual consciousness arises. But if it is separated from its object, this consciousness does not exist. It is the same for the consciousnesses relevant to the other organs. Sattva Sutra. Thus, in a sutra, the Buddha said to Lotu, this form aggregate, O Radha, break, destroy, disperse, eliminate it so that it exists no longer. Do the same with the other 4 aggregates. That is the emptiness of dispersion. For example, look at these children who are piling up earth and building castles, ramparts, villages, houses. They say that it is rice or wheat flour. They like it, they are attached to it, they keep it and they protect it. But when evening comes, they are no longer interested in them, they tread him underfoot, they break them, destroy them, disperse them and eliminate them. Foolish worldly people do the same. As long as they do not renounce desire, they have feelings of love and attachment for dharmas. But as soon as they have renounced desire and see the dharmas, they disperse them, destroy them and reject them. Kat Yaina Vavada. This is what the Kya Chenyen King says. In the person who sees the truth of the origin, there is no view of non-existence. In the person who sees the truth of cessation, there is no view of existence. For these various reasons, we speak of the emptiness of dispersion. Prakriti Sunyata 10th section. Emptiness 12. Emptiness of essences.